Welcome back to the break room. Is Wonder Woman 3 happening? Gal and Warner Brothers, get your story straight. Stop jerking us around, huh? I'm Brandon Barrick. Who cares? Joining me today, we have Tommy Bechtold.
Hey, everybody. Great to be here.
That it?
Yeah.
Okay, I was giving you space.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And we're also so lucky to have on the show today, Maude Garrett.
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah!
Oh, baby!
Yes! Yes!
Woo!
If you ask nicely, you get results. Thank you so much for having me.
It's our pleasure.
Sorry, that was lovely.
I'm so thrilled to have you here. I'm so glad to be here with you, Brandon.
Oh, thanks, Tommy.
You know what I'm not happy about?
What's that?
These labor stoppages happening in our town. As a proud member of the SAG-AFTRA Guild of Performance Artists, I simply must demand these greedy studios come back to the table and give us writers and actors a piece of the pie that we so desperately deserve. The tiniest little 2% piece off of your giant, massive pies that you consume like greedy charlatans, just taking and never being willing to give. Anyway, all that means we ain't promoting shit until you get your money right. But we will editorialize, we will comment, and we will report the news. So that's what's going to happen here today. This is not a promotion of any of the things we're talking about. Quite frankly, I don't care if these people all rot on film. All right.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
You can expect opinions, though.
There will be some opining.
There will be.
The roughest form of them.
And frankly, we're going to be talking about a movie that probably might not ever happen.
Yeah, I mean, we might as well talk about dreams we had last night. If that's the case, let's just say this is the second episode in a row. We're going to talk about Brie Olson.
Not again. No.
Did you have to slap with the eyebrows? Like, was that a double?
He had to.
You had to.
He can't help it.
Good.
He can't help himself.
I'm an animatronic. What is it? An animatronic?
Animatronic.
I'm not even a real boy.
Okay, I legit have a phobia of that, so don't joke about it.
Of animatronics?
Yeah.
About
I'm real.
everyone else being an animatronic?
Of something that's not real coming to life.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. My mental health and blood pressure ailments are very real.
Okay.
Right now, my blood's very slowly moving through all of my veins.
Good.
Like a thick paste.
Okay.
Like a marinara sauce.
So, Maude, is Toy Story like a traumatizing franchise for you?
No, it was Chucky.
Chucky. Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
yes.
Don't get me started on Chucky. We did an episode a few weeks ago where I got to talk about my asshole best friend, Zach Hall, setting up my buddy doll under his bed like a Chucky with a toy knife. I'm sorry, this is not good for you. It was awful. And his mom thought it was funny.
No!
I thought it was funny. She didn't think it was funny when I pissed all over that carpet in fear.
On the carpet.
Never let him see you piss.
Oh, boy.
What are we talking about today?
Well, speaking of frightening franchises, let's talk about the Wonder Woman franchise, folks. There's been a lot of back and forth about a Wonder Woman 3 movie.
Yeah.
It's been in the news. It's been on social media. We've heard from producers, from writers, from directors, from the stars of the film themselves.
Yeah.
We're just left wondering.
We want to wonder. We want to wonder about this woman. So we're going to try and parse out the timeline as we understand it, and try and see if this. We'll come to a conclusion if we think this movie's going to happen or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go along this journey.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Way back.
We're done.
Way back in December 27th of 2020.
Oh my God. 2 days after Christmas.
2 days after Christmas, where Santa Claus brought us all Wonder Woman 1984, whether we were good boys or bad. They greenlit a Wonder Woman 3 movie 2 days after Wonder Woman 1984 came out on streaming.
Which wasn't the biggest success ratings-wise.
No, but it's also...
Like critique-wise.
Yeah, the critics' middling reviews.
It was a critical, not a darling. It was a critical man.
It exists.
Yeah, it happened. It happened. There were things we liked about it. There were things we didn't like about
The
it.
first movie was so good.
Right.
So
I think that's the
hard
bar.
to match it.
Yes.
Yeah.
The bar was set so high.
Yeah.
And even with Kristen Wiig turning into a human-cat hybrid.
Yeah. The cheetah.
Didn't do it for you. And this of course movie came out. It comes out after Justice League and all of that.
Right.
But takes
Which
place,
was a hit.
Which was a hit. But takes place before that movie, right? It takes place in 1984.
Yep.
So this movie comes out on streaming. We'll never know the true ratings of the movie because it's on streaming. We don't know how many people watched it.
Well,
HBO
David
Max
Zaslav
says whatever.
Yeah, he's one of the worst people on earth, and he said they saved $100 million.
Was he in charge?
Oh, yeah, that was such.
He wasn't in charge for that, but it reeks of of his handiwork. Maybe he was secretly in charge then. I don't know. Maybe he was in charge.
Don't worry, they have Max.
That's true.
They got Max now.
You can watch Max. Don't say HBO in front of it, or we'll all get electrocuted.
And the movie comes out, right? We don't know how well it does. I think it was also in theaters, but like had a very small box office, obviously. At the time, right, Warner Brothers was doing a thing which a lot of directors like Christopher Nolan did not appreciate, where they were putting same day like streaming and in theaters. Well, very few people were going to theaters at this time.
They made the announcement early on, I think, when the pandemic hit, that they were going to release all of the rest of their theatrical releases on streaming same day as theater.
Dune was going to come out. Wonder Woman 1984.
Suicide Squad.
The Matrix. Revelations, was that?
They tried to say it was because of COVID, but what it ended up doing is, especially with the Disney Plus, Scarlett Johansson sued Disney.
Right.
Because a lot of the earnings was from box office sales.
Yeah, a lot of their deals were based on that.
So when they went, you know what, we're just going to release it on streaming straight away and not even give the box office a chance. Yes, the COVID happened and people weren't going out, but at the same time, it was like costing them millions and millions of dollars in profit.
Yeah.
Like money that they had negotiated into the deal. So that whole situation was tricky at best. I know that, is it Denis Villeneuve?
That's how I say it.
With Dune, they already pushed it back a year, and then he was just like, my movie's not made to be on a streaming service day one. Like, you need to watch it. So yeah, there's like that thing in its own ruffled a lot of feathers in the movie world.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't go see Dune Part 1 in theaters, and I regret that. Yeah. I really wish I had seen it in IMAX, and I hope they put it out again in IMAX.
So good.
It was great at home, but would have loved to see it with a real sound system.
Not the same, not even close.
But yeah, so all of that's going on, right? We put this movie out in 1984, and 2 days later, they're like, great, we're going to give it a sequel. Wonder Woman 3, it's happening, baby. Let's go. So the story, from that point on, Patty Jenkins is working on the script. Along with Jeff Johns, who you might know as a very big writer for DC.
He was pre-James Gunn. He was filming this entire thing, and he knows DC Comics better than most, I would say. So I'd say he was a good guy to team up with at that particular time.
Yeah, totally.
For the movie.
And they were supposedly, there were stories coming out here and there. It was like they were going to do a modern Wonder Woman story. They were going to take her from 1984 and come to present day, I guess, was the idea.
The problem is
post-Justice League Wonder Woman
DC's
story.
present day, there's a reason why you want to avoid it at all costs. But
a little messy at the time. And I think this is when, I might be wrong about this, the Snyder Cut came out after this. Was it January of 2023? No,
I
that can't
think
be right.
The Snyder Cut is such a funny thing. They found out that it was bots. Someone had made 10,000 bots to put out content to demand a Snyder Cut. And so it wasn't, and then the studio spent $1 million or so to release that Snyder Cut.
They spent several million fixing it up and the reshoots and all of that.
And then realized that no one really actually asked for
No one wanted a 4.5 hour version of
You're telling me that Flash entering the Time Force was not the most cheer-worthy moment at the Oscars?
Well, was that the one where Will Smith slapped Chris Rock? Because that was, for me...
Producer Evan, you coming in with something?
Yeah, Snyder Cut 2021.
2021. Okay, my apologies.
So it was after.
So it was after, yes.
So what 84 comes out after the Snyder Cut. Thank you. All that time was a blur.
No.
Yeah.
84 came out before the Snyder Cut.
Yes. Snyder Cut came out after.
Thank you.
Yes. Sorry, guys.
I'm bad with time.
Hang on. Let's use some visuals. Wonder Woman 1984.
Okay.
The Snyder Cut.
Our conversation.
This conversation.
Okay, now I understand. Thank you.
That's teamwork, everybody.
I need the mug theory, please. Okay, so it's 2022 now. They're working on a script. They're getting asked about it all the time. Anytime they're doing interviews, both Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins are getting asked about it, right? In October of 2022, Jenkins says at the Matera Film Festival that she had written the final scene for Wonder Woman 3 and was excited to see where Diana goes next.
Well, she's also on the top of her game because she's been pitching to Star Wars.
Right.
Yes.
Roughly around this time. And she's been given the Rogue Squadron portion of the Star Wars universe to work on.
Right.
And that didn't go so well either.
No, they took it away, right?
About 5 months, in December of 2022, stories start leaking that the script is not great. The one that she came to the table
The Rogue
with.
Squadron one.
The Rogue Squadron script was not great at all.
Yeah.
And then by March of 2023, It just doesn't exist anymore.
It's gone.
Gone.
And that was when they were always like, yeah, we're doing a Rogue Squadron movie. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
For years and years and years.
So this was a tumultuous little
Yeah.
bit of time for Patty.
And during this time, too, Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins work on a Cleopatra movie that has never come to be either. So I don't know.
That's a good idea. And then nothing ever happened.
And nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
So October 2022, Jenkins is like, I finished the script, or she said she'd written the final scene. But what she turned in was described as a treatment. So I don't know. Sometimes treatments can be pretty long. They can have some script elements in it. Kevin Smith famously would write like very long treatments.
Yeah, but Kevin Smith has an editor lens on that, though.
Yeah.
And as an editor first, I think they make the better directors because they can see every single shot.
Sure.
And they can write a cleaner script, personally. If you're going to bring him in, I'm going to have an opinion about it.
No, it's a good opinion.
Thank you.
So she says in this interview, right, I've written it, boom. She decides to see where Diana goes because she had originally said like she'd only wanted to do one Wonder Woman movie. She wasn't interested in doing a bunch of them. But I guess after she had a great time with the first one.
And then her paycheck was $12 million.
Well, yeah, it certainly helped a lot.
$12 million because the first movie was so good.
Yeah, and she makes the second one. She's writing this third one, and she's even like, "I'm interested in doing more. Let's keep this going." Right?
Honestly, if you keep giving me $12 million, I'll do 50 of them.
That's it.
I'll write you a Wonder Woman movie.
And then the whole of DC takes a little bit of a turn, doesn't it?
What else happens in October?
Well, we've got new people coming in and taking over the helm. James Gunn and Peter Safran took over DC Studios in October 2022, and ever since then, we've been hearing very different ideas of the future of DC. We've heard that our Superman is on the out. We've got a new Superman coming in.
He's been replaced by Sweet Corn.
Sweet corn, baby. October 2022, they announced that Peter Safran and James Gunn are going to take over. They don't like fully take over yet because you still have some other people running the ship. But the announcement comes in that same month that Patty Jenkins is like, I'm done with Wonder Woman 3. It's ready to go, baby.
Yep.
But it's like a Big Lots when it's going out of business, right? Like they're like, this Big Lots is going to be a CVS in a month, but for now we've got to sell all these Christmas
now it's
trees.
a Spirit Halloween.
There's Christmas trees and they're half off, and they're an unbelievable deal.
Tommy.
Did you hear about this?
No, Tommy.
Big Lots already has Christmas trees on sale, and they're 50% off. I went and I bought the biggest tree. No. Yeah. You're welcome to ask questions. I took it to the guy scanning people out. He goes, wow, that is a massive Christmas tree. Are you planning on putting that up yourself? And I said, no, probably in the living room.
Maude, I'm sorry. I should have stopped it from happening, but I just stood by.
I'll never.
There was no Santa Claus in that contract, was there?
No. That was the year Santa Claus skipped Christmas.
Well, speaking of Santa Claus, it's December 2022 now.
Oh.
And the Hollywood Reporter announced
Trees are full price at that point.
Trees are full price. And that the sources had told them that the Wonder Woman 3 project with Jenkins and Gadot would not be happening under the new Gunn and Safran empire. Gadot, I apologize.
It happens. That's fine.
I do it all the time. And then, of course, as you mentioned, Maude, Jenkins loses Rogue Squadron kind of around the same time.
Yeah.
Around Christmas time, too.
Yeah. It's a tough holiday.
Tell your family.
And
what's new with you? I'm losing everything.
The script that she submitted was to Warner Brothers Film Group co-chairpersons and CEOs Michael DeLuca and Pamela Abdi. So like they've announced Gunn and Safran, but these two are still kind of like in charge of things.
Yep.
And maybe they left them in to deliver the bad news. I don't know. Because it would be weird to have Gunn come in and be like, "You're out."
Well,
Jenkins.
at this stage, Gal is technically still Wonder Woman.
Yes.
And Patty's technically still producing.
Right.
As a producer on that.
Also,
and still going to be the director of it.
Don't know.
But it's a very loose, we're making this movie, but
so they want a sense of like ownership.
Okay.
It's like, we're not stripping this away.
Yeah.
They are still going to be involved somehow. But that was like, 7-8 months ago.
Yeah.
it's a long time ago, and I don't want to mess up my timeline. I'm going to continue. It's right right there.
Right there.
Perfect.
So it's December 2022. So all these like stories start coming out like this, about the quality of the script, the story, bad meetings, bad things being said back and forth. Gunn and Safran kind of clarify at this point that like they didn't boot Gal out of this movie. They didn't like boot Patty Jenkins. It was more just like it wasn't going to work out as it was. Jenkins puts out like a long statement after these reports come out saying a lot of things, but also, quote, there was nothing she could do to move the project forward at that time. It seemed like there was a disagreement about what the next installation of Wonder Woman would be. And at this time too, we're also wondering like, is this the end of the Snyderverse? Is there going to be a whole new thing? Is it going to be a full reset? Because I don't think it was until after this point that they're like, it's now the DCU.
Right.
Yeah.
That came later. Like, because at this time it's still the DCEU.
Yeah.
They dropped the E. Boom, it's the DCU.
Is this not entertaining?
I guess. I guess it's not expansive enough. Because was it a cinematic? It was DC.
It wasn't. It was entertaining.
It's entertainment.
Yeah.
It was entertainment.
Literally
universe?
what she just said.
I thought it was expanded universe.
Gosh, it's like I'm right.
I believe that you're right.
God, Brandon, you're so toxic.
It's so good.
I can't believe Warner Brothers.
I'm glad I'm on the right side of the timeline in history.
I always thought it was.
Believe
expanded
women,
universe.
Brandon. Come on.
I need to read better.
DCU, Entertainment Universe.
Beautiful.
One thing I really want to drop in here is that a lot of speculation's been happening and a lot of people are reporting a bunch of different things. The smartest thing to do if you really are invested in what's happening, A, this channel, B, follow James Gunn.
Yeah.
Yes.
James Gunn has been very active on... sorry, I can't say it without wanting to be sick.
Twixter.
Yeah.
They should call it Twix. It was right there.
Right there. Nom, nom, I'd eat that up.
No one-
Yes.
Yeah, we're not promoted by Twix at all.
Love Elon Musk.
Some of the stuff that he's been dropping has been on threads, in responses to commenters on Instagram. So he's kind of like
Yeah,
trying
he's very
to
open on social.
set the record
Yeah.
straight.
He's willing, if he catches a loose thread, no pun intended, he will go in and correct it. Like
Yeah.
he'll say, this is what, like if someone asks or I think he has a real bee in his bonnet over amateur like entertainment news, like people who just tweet off things as though they're news.
Yes.
And then he's like, you know what?
Facts are important.
And I guess when you have his past and everything he's experienced in life, facts are very important, right? Like,
And context. And
context and facts are.
Yeah, he was very clear at this point too that like this was, you know, it wasn't a reflection of anyone's work, right? And they wanted to use Gal going forward.
Yeah.
They just wasn't sure how that was going to work. And he's trying to build a new universe and kind of, you know, stay away from the old stuff.
I know we're getting into this later, but the segue just works right now.
Sure.
Can you have new Superman in a scene with Gal Gadot,
I don't think
Wonder
so.
Woman?
Well-
This is the thing. Can you clean half the slate, but then keep older properties, or has it got to be?
I mean, I
wipe it
think
clean?
in a world they've established with the Flash,
a bit of everything.
you can have world, and this is something the MCU does, right? Where some universes characters will look the same, some universes they'll look different,
Right.
Some will be a mix of the two, right?
Only time I can recall where there was a mix of the two was like an X-Men, Days of Future Past. I
Well,
think they were
then-
like,
yeah,
like
they-
original characters with the
With the
Right.
the original Fox characters with the new First Class characters,
Yes.
even though they're kind of the younger versions of the First Class characters in some weird
like it was
way.
Jennifer Lawrence instead of Rebecca Romaine because Jennifer was hot property at that stage,
Right.
and they're like, we want her for everything.
Yeah.
But remember, she turns into Rebecca Romaine at one point. You're like,
Yeah.
God damn, that girl's beautiful.
Yeah.
God damn.
That's what I said in the theater. I went, God damn.
Well, and I
that
took it
girl's
to be at the end
beautiful."
of Flash when he comes back to a world where, you know, George Clooney's the Batman, but Jason Momoa is still Aquaman. But it's not his Aquaman from the DCEU Snyderverse. It's a new Aquaman, but they look like Jason Momoa.
Right.
So it's like, you know, it's like some Lokis look like Loki, Tom Hiddleston, other Lokis look different.
Yeah.
But those are
Some are
variants and not
alligators.
multiversal, so we're getting into
We could really tie ourselves into a knot
right.
thinking about it.
They're stories, folks. Yeah. So next we have the big slate announcement from James Gunn in 2023, where he's like, here are the movies we're going to make in the new DCU. Get the E out. He announced Paradise Lost, a Wonder Woman prequel on Themyscira, which Patty Jenkins would stay on as a producer of that series.
Yeah.
But it's going to be pre-Wonder Woman.
So it's not Gal.
It's not Gal.
Right.
Now, she could be there by the end, maybe. They could put some clay together and make Gal. I don't know.
Is that how it works?
Well, in the old, if I remember my golden age well, the first Wonder Woman was made of clay, basically. We've
already had the Wonder Woman set up in the first Wonder Woman.
Yes.
We got her origin story to kick us off.
Right.
So what would this prequel look like? It was even before that time when she was a little
I believe it's
kid?
before that time. It's like when her parents,
Yeah.
her mother is
Well, they
younger,
showed-
We still kind of
her
got
creator.
that.
Yeah, I don't know. We had young teen Gal running the race or whatever.
Yeah.
We had that in 1984. It's all very confusing.
Yeah.
Oh, very confusing.
Yeah,
Just bring Chris Pine back.
It's a hard sell to me, where it's like, we're doing something that we pretty much have done a little bit.
I think they want to expand the world of Themyscira and get into like the politics and like more Game of Thrones style.
Well, I was gonna say, as George Lucas showed us with the prequels, when you get into the bureaucracy
you want the babies
of the
versions
world,
of everyone.
what's the tax codes on Themyscira?
Yeah.
These credits are no good here.
So then we have like the final offerings of what remains of the DCEU.
Yep.
James Gunn is in charge now, but there's still some movies to come out, right?
Yes.
They have Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods coming out.
Yeah.
And what they do is they add Gal Gadot.
Oh
to
yes,
that
very
film.
famously at the end of the film
Yes.
when spoiler alert, Billy Batson dies, right? I mean, I remember being in the theater gasping.
Shazam
They did
died.
what?
Yeah. We have a photo. They added her through reshoots to this movie. I
Yeah.
believe she wasn't in the original iteration.
So they
There
cut
she
her
is.
movie or they shelve her movie and then they like can't stop using her.
Right, yes.
Or they're using it as they're shoehorning in enough of a goodbye. Should we
Right.
come to
Oh,
that?
sure.
Now, this could be because this is also the time where they're like, we don't really want Henry Cavill as Superman anymore, but we don't want to say that.
I'm devastated about that still. I think Sweet Corn's going to be fantastic, but there's just I just feel like Patty and
He never got a good shot.
Patty and Henry Cavill, the end of 2022, they both lost two of the best things that they were working
Yeah,
on.
right,
And
yeah.
to me, it just seemed like, damn, that sucks to be there.
It's tough. It's tough.
Toss a coin to your Witcher.
Yeah.
Every damn day.
So they add her into that. They also add her into The Flash after there were rumors about her cameo being cut.
Oh.
Because they did a bunch of reshoots. The Flash was in post for a long time.
Yeah.
They did several reshoots
they
of that
were
film.
in crisis mode as
They were
well.
they were holding off because of the news and stuff.
Yeah.
So they add her into this movie.
Now, what news was that again? Can we go in depth on why there was a
I'd
problem
rather
with
not.
Okay.
It involves a lot of criminal activity.
It involves some Hawaiian karaoke
Yeah.
nights that turn into Hawaiian karaoke
Yeah.
frights.
So she shows up in
Flash.
Thank you, as well. Both movies featuring the leads being weirdly attracted to her and being too young for her. Always, it's very weird, very strange stuff.
Yeah, what is why I guess maybe it's when you have someone who's like super like abnormally old and ages slowly, it feels like the compulsion is like it's got to be a horny teenager
Right.
that likes her, right?
Right. And I think if the roles were reversed, they wouldn't make the joke, which is also very weird.
Man,
You know what I mean?
you know what? Superman should really hit on. What's your name? I've been alive for. Well, actually, Superman's not that old. Right? He's aging.
He's
normal.
lived a normal
Krypton
human
years.
life. Human life. I don't know
Human.
how long he could go for. I think he lives forever in the comics. He just
What
lives
about
till the
Rip
end of
Van
time.
Winkle? He slept for like 50 years.
Yeah.
What if he woke up and was like, "Bring me a teen"?
Yeah.
Hate it.
So they
Cancel Van Winkle.
they keep. I wasn't in that shot when he said it, was I?
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, it was a wide.
Damn.
That was Rip Van Winkle, not me.
That's true.
I can't stand kids.
So they keep Wonder Woman in the Flash, but they reduce our boy Henry Cavill,
Yeah.
Superman. He had a bigger part supposedly, and they reduce it to the point he's on a TV with his back to us. As a
Wasn't
little
even
man
him.
flying around.
That's it.
Yeah, it was probably all digital. They didn't bring him in for that one.
It's probably Cage. They just reused the Cage shot.
But
Yeah.
nothing screams, we're going to move in a different direction.
Right.
Like those little final bow. It's
Yeah.
not a great send off, but hey, we're moving
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah,
Look at
6
this
months
part.
ago, you're like, we're not making a Wonder Woman 3, but Gal's still going to be around maybe. We put her in these two movies, especially The Flash, kind of establishing that, like, to me, it is, like I said, it established that, like, Jason Momoa, Aquaman's going to stick around. It tells me that Gal, Wonder Woman's going to stick around.
Got it.
And maybe we'll see Bad Affleck again. I don't know.
Hope not.
You hope not? You don't
I
like
just
Bad
wasn't,
Affleck?
he wasn't my favorite.
He finally
I forgot
he
for a
finally
while
got the
that he
character in
was.
The Flash, he said. He finally understood it. It spoke to him.
Now I get it.
Is that
Now
because
I
he got
get
the first
I
two
drive a
paychecks?
luxury car.
And it was like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, right.
It makes sense to me when I drive an expensive car that's not a Batmobile.
Now I get it. I like killing bad
that's-
Wait,
I
my
mean-
parents died and his mom died? Multiple parents are dead? That motivates us? I gotta get back to Zack Snyder.
Ben Affleck is also not immune to having his character replaced before his tenure is even up. Like he's
Right.
watching Robert Pattinson as Batman while he
True.
still had like an
That is
active
the
contract. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so this is just happening.
And
left,
people
right, center
loving
at DC.
his movie. Meanwhile, people are hating Batfleck's movies.
Yep.
It's tough stuff.
He
Tough
was
I
stuff.
liked
he was
him in
gonna
The
direct-
Suicide
What?
Squad.
You liked him in
Sorry,
The
cut you off.
Suicide
What'd you say?
Squad.
Batfleck was going to direct.
That's
as well.
right.
Like
Let
he
him
was
do it.
like
Yeah.
he was going to do his own James Gunn version of this little DC you part.
Oh yeah, there was like a little leak this week of a storyboard artist, right? That was like, I guess like a storyboard from Ben Affleck's script came out, and the guy was like, "Well, we can finally talk about what a cool movie this was going to be." Can we?
I think the best thing that happened to you in Hollywood is to say you're gonna have a cool movie. They don't let you make it, and they'd be like, "My movie was gonna be so cool."
You need a clause in there. Should this not? You need a Santa clause in.
Yeah.
Should this not go ahead? I want the rights back, and I want to be able to talk about it, and I want to be able to weaponize the audience. To be so obsessed with this that
I want
we
to get thousands of bots at my
to
disposal.
bring it to
I
life.
need 53 feral pigs.
Don't ask questions.
So after all of that, that brings us to these past few weeks where the Wonder Woman news has been bubbling up again, like from the tar pits of La Brea.
Why did she have something to promote?
She's been promoting a little film called Heart of Stone. Oh. And the press embargo was lifted last week, and a lot of people had done interviews with her before the strikes happened, and they're starting to come out now. Everyone,
no one's talking about Heart of Stone. Everyone
wants to see Heart of Stone. It's going to be on Netflix, I think.
Evan interviewed Gal.
Our own producer Evan interviewed Gal Gadot. You can see.
Thumbs up or thumbs down? Was it good? Thumbs up.
He said a thumbs up. You can catch that
Well,
video
he's furiously going like this right now.
on our YouTube channel. And everyone had a Wonder Woman 3 scoop, and they got to announce that Gal Gadot said that she, James Gunn, and Peter Safran would be developing Wonder Woman 3 together.
Wow.
Where's Patty?
No one asked about Patty.
Yeah. Wasn't there a little rumor that Patty and Gal had a falling out? There was a little.
Oh, I don't know about that.
There was a little. I mean, but that's what we're always trying to do: divide the women.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you for recognizing.
Yes.
That's our only tactic that we have.
That's patriarchy.
Yeah.
Divide the women folk and horses.
A horse just runs past. Thank you. Yeah.
The horse's name was Friday.
Everyone do their horse impression. Great, Tommy. Thank you.
Nay.
Pathetic.
Oh, nay. Oh, nay. So it seems like it's back on. We're going to get a Wonder Woman 3. Gal's back in, baby.
Woo!
However,
Oh no.
yesterday, both Collider and Variety were separately reporting that there are no current plans for a Wonder Woman 3.
Damn.
So let's try and parse this out, okay?
Yeah.
You have capital D development versus air quotes development.
Okay.
Okay?
Like I've got a lot of projects in development.
Development, yes. Yeah, I'm
My
developing.
schedule is busy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like that.
I have a very active romantic life.
Oh, okay. I've got a lot of deals going.
Yeah.
My car runs.
To answer your Patty Jenkins question, I bet you would still get to stay on as a producer, right?
That's what I had heard.
Because if you've developed this character, you'd have to lead them on as a producer.
But she didn't create the character, so if they really, I mean, it's not like Tim Burton is like a producer on The Batman.
But is he a producer on The Flash? Well, for instance, like in Infinity War and
I actually
Endgame,
don't know.
Infinity War and Endgame, James Gunn is a producer because they're using his
Yes. Him and Favreau.
Guardians of the Galaxy characters.
Yeah.
Favreau's been a producer on everything.
But I think it's that. I think if they use, I guess you're right. The Gal Gadot, darn it, are gonna. Did I steal the Zaire joke?
I will include that in
That
the.
was
I didn't
that.
do it.
Yeah,
Maude.
but I was waiting.
I
knew it would happen.
stole. Well, that was more just my own self-consciousness.
Tommy Robin Williams did, where he heard it and he just repeated it.
I'm just taking in so much content. Gal Gadot. I guess if it's that, if she's playing Wonder Woman, then rightfully so, Patty Jenkins should get a producer.
It feels like a team thing.
Yeah. If you're using a character that was whose story you developed, I think it continues on, right? So we know that Gunn wants to pursue more Wonder Woman stories. If they're going to keep Gal around, which we can talk about the percentage we think that's going to happen, do you keep her as the same character, or is this like a multiversal version, a la Momoa in The Flash, where it's like, I don't know anything about the DCEU.
Doesn't it feel like
I'm a Wonder Woman?
Sorry.
Phenomenally, Wonder Woman, that's me.
Doesn't it feel like the whole point of the announcement of Peter Safran and James Gunn was to kind of streamline and simplify this like ever bloating, like kind of fan controlled mafia? Like there's the Snyder cult that might be bots. There's like, there's the one dude who ran the DC films briefly. Then there's like Jeff Johns. It's like all of these voices competing to complete this DCEU. And then they're like, nope. It's gone. It's James Gunn and Peter Safran, and then they have created DC Elseworlds to basically house Joker and the Batman, and then they can put other things under that banner that they don't want to end yet or that they want to continue to develop. But everything through this main timeline is supposed to be simplified. For me, if you jump right into a multiverse or metaverse saga with multiple Wonder Women, it's like
that's a cleanup team.
Yeah, I think it's got to be clean slate, or they like reestablish Gal as a different universe's Wonder Woman, that universe's Wonder Woman, but it's a different, which is still convoluted. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, I feel like James Gunn he's done such a good job with Guardians of the Galaxy. That we cannot deny.
Yes.
He got done dirty by Marvel, so then he's now aligning with DC in a very firm way. I'm wondering if he's a fan of DC like we all are, that recognized Marvel's strength was doing origin stories first, giving each of the main Avengers their own standalone to then come together, except the ones that don't require the standalones. But then they all come together and you're like, oh, wow, so now I know these characters so well, so when you put them in a situation with others, we can expand upon it. Whereas DC was doing a catch-up and went, let's just put them all together at once. And it's like, but we don't know
We'll do one and two, and then we'll just throw them all together.
So we don't understand what's happening.
Right.
So maybe James is coming in being like, cool, the last 10 years didn't happen.
I think he has to. I kind of feel like
He's
to create a new
Superman, and he's younger.
Right.
I think that we're going to go literally redo the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's like how it should have been done with authentic individual storytelling and getting these origins. The idea with Wonder Woman, let's go way, way back before Gal and really pinpoint the origin of all of this. So I'm wondering if that's what he's doing, which means, sorry, Jason Momoa, you're probably out as Aquaman.
Yeah.
Is that movie coming out this year?
Flash, they can't get rid of him fast enough.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know. Well, we're going to do a heat check on who we think from the DCU could possibly stick around, who they should stick around. Were you saying, Maude, you think that like it's not worth it to keep Gal? Not. This is not a knock on her or performance or anything like that, but just from like making a brand new DCU shine.
Yeah.
Trying to keep this around is just unnecessary.
It's going to overcomplicate things.
Juggling.
You're right. We're cleaning the slate. We're going younger. I think we should start fan casting the next Wonder Woman personally.
Sure. Yes. Well, I think James Gunn doesn't want to throw her under the bus. You know, it doesn't want to be like, no, she's out.
Well, I wonder what kind of contractual obligation they have.
Oh, okay. That's a great point.
Yeah, because if it's in writing, I mean, she could just get paid $20 million to have
She signed on for like a 4-picture deal, and she's only done 2.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good point.
Because that was a lot of the Marvel contracts were like, their standalone films and then their appearances.
Yeah.
So they also could have been burning off appearances with
those. Tacking it on.
Good call.
Yep.
Good call.
Okay.
Well, before we keep talking about the tabula rasa of the DCU, let's talk about some T-shirts, folks.
Sure.
Charlottesville. No, stop.
January 6th.
No, stop.
Nerd
Stop.
Riot. Those are the top 3 riots to me.
What are you doing?
It took me way too long to understand.
I know. Tommy's he's unhinged, folks.
Woo.
Hey, check out nerdriot.shop where you can find fun little new shirts like this bad boy.
I love these. By the way, the one I was wearing yesterday, I went and washed immediately because it was so comfy. The Kashyyyk Warriors one in a nice maroon. It was like a throwback to a shirt I used to wear in high school. Oh my God, my mom said I was the most handsome boy.
Ahsoka, we've got some new Star Wars gear.
Do we have any of the baseball shirts to show? Yes.
Oh yeah, we have like we have the ringer,
the three-quarter
sleeve, baseball. The Kashyyyk Warriors.
I thought Kashyyyk had 3 Ys.
Don't fact check it.
I don't know.
We can't afford to
what
fix
am I?
it.
What am I? An Arabic dictionary?
We've printed 1,000 of these. Look at this thing.
I don't know.
The Kessel Runners. Imagine
Runners.
you sprinting towards a group of people with a brick in your hand, just ready to go. Kessel Warriors.
Don't sprint towards people with a brick in your hand.
Okay,
I think I already showed these.
I know. I'm just checking out sizing to see if I can steal them for the weekend.
Steal some more.
Ooh, yeah. I love stealing.
Get ready for the Ahsoka series at nerdriot.shop. Check out this awesome merch. We'll also have some like shirts related to the Ahsoka series more directly. Do you do a Wookiee voice? Oh, I like that. I like that. Very nice, very nice.
Fits like a glove.
You can find all these awesome shirts at nerdriot.shop. Oh, look at those guns.
Now it's got 3 Ys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did you say now it's got 3 Ys?
Yeah.
Yeah, the shirt's going, why are you doing this to me?
These threads are screaming with the force of 1,000 Wookiees. Join the riot at nerdriot.shop.
I think you look great.
Thank you. I feel great. I feel beautiful.
You look ready to win the intramural softball league.
Yeah. I'm going to bully some other people that are my peers because on the baseball field, I feel superior. You can't catch and throw. You're 31 years old, damn it.
Okay, let's do a little heat check of the OG Justice League. The OG live action Justice League.
No, let's do it. Oh, all right.
So in the DC, so we have the DCU is going right now.
If you call it the DCEO.
Ew. It's kind of going right now. Okay, I guess. I'm still confused about where the Flash ended. Did the Flash? In my mind, the Flash began in the DCEU, but the world he came back to was maybe the DCU.
Do you remember we were all kind of promised before a lot of the drama in the Flash that like the Flash was gonna reset everything.
Yeah.
And instead it reset us back to like 1997 when George Clooney was Batman.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know.
I feel like they gave up on that.
So we have Blue Beetle coming out next week, right?
Yep.
Which I think is like DCU. I assume that's a character they want to keep around.
James Gunn, that has been the one he's been the most inclusive on, saying like that character exists in the DCU.
Yeah.
Got it. Because it's interesting that they've scrapped, full movies. Batgirl.
Batgirl.
Yes.
Batgirl's
Is
gone.
Bat gone?
Bat gone.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about because I had a special chip in my brain that I let
It doesn't look like
off.
anything to me. It doesn't look like anything.
I don't see a door there.
So we have that movie coming out next week, and the last DC EU project we really had was Shazam 2.
Yep.
And also Black Adam was technically DCEU, which Shazam showed up in.
Right.
Henry Cavill did not show up in, even though The Rock wanted him, but Cavill said no thanks, I guess.
Wait,
No.
no, it was the opposite.
The Rock wanted Superman there.
He wasn't Superman.
He did show up.
He did show
It
up.
was
Superman was
Superman.
in Black Adam.
He didn't want
He didn't want
Shazam,
Shazam.
even though
that's
Black
right,
Adam
They wear the same outfit.
Black Adam and Shazam story,
They're buddies.
the overlap is a full circle
Yes.
on the Venn diagram.
Yeah.
And The Rock went, no, I want
want the
to fight.
big guy.
I want to punch Henry Cavill.
Well, maybe he knew what Zachary Levi was about to say on social media. He didn't want him around. So we have Aquaman 2. Also, maybe, please let this movie come out in 2023. Poor Momoa. This movie's been ready it was already delayed a full year to 2023, and now it might get delayed again.
Right.
As of now, we think it's still coming out December 20th, 2023.
Did they completely edit out a particular character?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. And after what we saw at the end of The Flash, right, where we see a Momoa Aquaman, do we think this is still a DCEU Aquaman that's going to find a way out somehow? Or is it going to die? Or
If you want to see Jason Momoa in his best DC role, watch the latest Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
He is the Joker.
He is incredible in that.
Yeah. So, okay.
Done.
So if we look at like the OG cast of
Yeah.
the Justice League, right? I think The Flash, Ezra Miller, is
Gone.
probably done.
He's
Done.
They were.
I
You
know.
guys are not going to like my attitude towards this segment. I don't want to spoil things.
No.
I think they all got to go.
Sure.
But like percentile wise, there's like a 1% chance he's
Yeah,
gonna
they were
not
trying
even.
their best to salvage that situation.
Yes.
That movie did not perform well at the
No.
box office. There's been reports that they're like afraid to put it out on streaming because they don't want to just be ridiculed about the whole thing.
Oh.
Because how quickly they put other movies out on Shazam 2 was out in like 2 weeks. Black
Oh
Adam was out
yeah,
in, like,
and
2
then and
weeks.
they're so precious about streaming, taking things off of it too. So once they put it out there, it'll stay there forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
you know, like
Oh, I
they couldn't possibly take
Yeah.
it off streaming within a week.
I was like, that's not true. I've just got the
So,
joke.
so you have
the joke.
Momoa's movie coming out, Aquaman 2. Now remember, Aquaman 1 was the best performing Warner Brothers DCEU movie.
Yeah.
It made $1 billion.
Yeah,
it
which
did
is
well
crazy.
around the world.
That is
Look,
crazy.
shout out to
think about.
James Wan. He's an
Yeah.
Australian director.
Yes.
Good on him.
I think he did a great job with
Yes.
that movie. A movie about people swimming around underwater, talking. It doesn't make sense, folks. It didn't make sense.
Made $1 billion.
It didn't make sense in Wakanda Forever. It doesn't make sense in this. It didn't make sense in The Little Mermaid. How are people speaking underwater?
You know what? Made more sense.
What?
The scuttlebutt.
Scuttlebutt. I'll tell you the scuttlebutt. They gotta keep Momoa as Aquaman. He is your most fun, accessible actor. He's great in interviews. He's a joy. Everyone talks about how nice he is. Other actors who meet up with him talk about how nice he is, how kind he is.
He seems great.
He's a good ambassador for what he's doing. He's hosting Shark Week.
I have it on good authority.
Keep him around.
Dude's been phoning it in on these sets doing Aquaman phoning it.
He's phoning it in as Aquaman?
Yeah.
I have a thought.
Is he phoning it in like Depp where he's got an earpiece and someone's feeding him his lines?
Almost there, but apparently,
okay.
I don't want to out him.
Well, you don't have to out it, but could part of that be frustration with how
I think for sure, probably.
Jerked around and all of that?
Because he's like, what have I done wrong? I've done everything you've asked. My movie did great. And then, like, circumstances beyond my control have insanely delayed my second movie. You keep inserting cameos in, then removing those cameos. Like, it's like, he's probably like, yeah, guys, at a certain point, you can make me dance. Yeah. I'm like, I'll be the jester, but like, enough's enough. Like, people still have to have like, you could say he's getting paid a ton of money, but it's like, at a certain point, people who get into artistic endeavors, many will sell out for certain things, but they care about what they're doing. No one goes into a movie for the most part and thinks, I don't care if this movie does good or bad.
They're all trying to make a good movie.
Yeah, especially something where you're the title character. Yeah. Ego would not allow him at the beginning or for most of the process to phone it in. You'd have to be pushed to that level. Like, I believe what you're saying, but I'm saying he was pushed there by his treatment from Warner Brothers Discovery. I also think there's a chance that if they want to recast him as Lobo, like that's been like the popular rumor, that he has to kill himself as Aquaman, right? Like that's the only way that works.
I think Lobo looks so weird that like just let him be Lobo with the weird gray makeup on. And
Jason, I would rather see Jason Momoa do Dune 6 more times.
Yeah. Duncan, Idaho, right?
Yeah, he stuck out to me in Dune in a weird way.
Because he didn't have a beard.
No, it was... It wasn't just the lack of beard. Everyone else is kind of speaking in a Dune way, an Arrakis way. Yeah. And he's like, what's up, bro? And I was like, I don't know. Yeah. Duncan, Idaho.
Just wait until I tell you what the Star Wars TV shows have been doing.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. So I put my heat check for Momoa. I put it high. I think you try and keep him around.
50-50 over here.
50-50 on that one?
I'm going to say, I think it's clean slate city. I'm putting them closer to 20%.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, James Wan has tried to say, like, the Aquaman movies are like their own thing. But he's just trying to keep Aquaman movies happening.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he made $1 billion off the first one. He's in that small club of billion-dollar directors. Of course you want to do that.
So next we have, like, Batman, which this is a little sticky, right? The Flash ended with George Clooney, Bruce Wayne returning, but Clooney's not going to do a Batman.
No,
0%.
You have Robert Pattinson doing a Batman thing, which they're calling like an Elseworlds project, which is not part of the main DCU. And I think,
it will be.
You think it will be eventually?
It will be. Yeah.
I think in the movie, in the Batman that I saw, right, I think it would be so weird to have a character like fly down from the sky. Like Superman flying in there would feel weird.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
In a very gritty, realistic, trying to be movie, it would feel very strange to have magic characters.
But they are trying to build with like Lego and different like Duplo. You know what I mean? So of course it's not going to fit together. But that's for the parts that they have to work
Sometimes
with.
you got to play with your Duplos with your Legos.
I just wanted to use the thing that everyone would understand and be able to visualize.
And then you got Mega Bricks over here.
That's it.
Just with their Halo.
And then, when we were kids, my dad just brought home real bricks for us. We just had to build. We were actually just building a shed.
He's like, make a shed. You want? I
got you giant Legos, kids.
You want to play Lego? How about we do Lego? Build me a fucking shed.
And we did. He never asked. He burnt them on us.
No.
But do you think that we would? So you're saying that you think we would see like a Robert Pattinson Batman?
If they establish these characters enough, and we can start picturing them within sort of this character. The exciting part is when they are introduced to the other characters and start coalescing.
I agree. When we have Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn fighting next to Jason Momoa Aquaman being like, let's do this.
Yeah.
I'm in for that.
Hold on. Hear me out.
Okay.
Jason Momoa is dating Zoe Kravitz.
Okay.
That can't be true.
In Batman. Oh no, she's dating. No, it's not true.
He's married to her mother.
Mum. You're right, and it's Channing Tatum, so we need to get Channing Tatum in the DC deal real soon.
Yeah.
So Jason Momoa's with whom now?
He's with Lisa Bonet. They got divorced and they got back together.
Yeah,
they're back
but he had a little pit stops along the way. Okay,
yeah.
cool. Sorry, entertainment mind.
There's some tawdry rumors that he may or may not have hooked up with her daughter, but I don't give them.
No, he raised her pretty much. My bad. That was my bad. It was Channing Tatum. I got them mixed up.
So Channing Tatum and Zoe Kravitz?
They're together.
Oh,
Yep.
adorable.
Yeah.
Maybe you have him show up as Gambit. Who cares?
Hey, Sherry, I'm into DCEU now, mon ami.
Mon ami. So we're going to discuss The Flash. As you know,
he's out.
I put that at a 0.0%.
Cyborg 0.
Yeah, Cyborg Ray Fisher.
And zero.
All that Justice League controversy.
Gone.
Which sucks, because all he was doing was speaking out about mistreatment. It's
not fair, but he's also firmly in Camp Snyder. Like, he's in Rebel Moon.
Yeah.
He's in...
Got it. Okay, so he's got his own trajectory.
He's sticking with Snyder on this one.
Okay.
So is Michael Shannon, according to those interviews, were great. Where he's like, I hated what they did to Zack.
He did not appreciate being in The Flash.
No. Talk about someone who's like, I'll promote this movie.
He was like, I'll take this check, but I don't like this.
I'll compliment Andy Muschietti, but I'm not going to say anything nice about this movie.
Tough stuff. And lastly, of course, Blue Beetle.
I think
it's a very high percentage.
I say that's an 85er for me.
Right.
They wouldn't release the movie if they weren't. Yeah.
And I think James Gunn has chosen his words very carefully about how much. I mean, he will send out a very nice tweet opening day of all of these movies, right? Like when The Flash came out, he said this is a great superhero movie. Enjoy The Flash. Made no promises that any person in that movie would be moving forward. He has specifically, maybe I don't want to misquote him or myself here. I believe he has made mention that this character. There are plans for him in the DCU. Now the issue is
this character being
Blue Beetle. You can't launch a cinematic universe on the back of the Blue Beetle.
Something you didn't even start.
Yeah, right. So it's kind of like I don't know how this movie. I mean, this movie is fascinating to me because it started off as a streaming only movie, right? Like the original plans when it was greenlit were like it's going to come out on Max, HBO Max.
That sounds familiar, Tommy. I'm not 100% sure.
But that could also have been, misreported rumors.
That could have been people assuming.
But when you look at it now, it's very clearly a theatrical release. Like the way it was shot and budgeted, it very clearly is. But it also doesn't have the same budget as The Flash or any of those other recent huge superhero movies.
No, it's mid-tier.
But
there is a big giant billboard on Sunset.
Yeah, they've been putting out. I mean, this is a world where they can't have their stars out promoting the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
They weren't able to be at Comic-Con to promote the movie.
Yeah,
so they have.
I feel that.
Yeah, and I feel bad for everyone involved in this film who they should be able to take a victory lap here. Yeah. You have some great representation in this movie, and they're not allowed to do it.
Not having a premiere.
And so I hope the movie does well. I'm not promoting the movie, but
we can root for individual parties to succeed without rooting for evil David Zaslav to put more gold flakes on his macaroni and cheese.
And
dinner.
Los Angeles is an interesting town. I visited it many times where they put up promotions for movies all over town, and it can be a weird place where you feel like, are they doing this in like Minnesota? No, but a lot of the people who work on these films are in this town, so to make them feel good, they'll put up big billboards.
Right.
And Warner Brothers has paid for a very large billboard at Hollywood and Highland where there's a lot of foot traffic. They're promoting the movie in a weird way, but they're promoting it.
Let me ask you something. You ever been on a billboard?
Have I been on a billboard?
Yeah.
No.
You?
Have you been on a billboard?
Nearly.
No.
Nearly. How about I've been in Australia's biggest theme park. I had a giant wall. And
that counts. That absolutely counts.
Then,
I was on a bus bench a couple times.
Oh, okay.
I love that.
Yeah, that felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you were
I was sleeping. No, to be clear,
Tommy!
I was living on. No. I was
doing.
printed on a bus bench, so that people could sit on my face.
Great.
Let's get some clarity from the director of the movie, though.
Yeah, the director of Blue Beetle,
Quickly moving on.
Angel Manuel Soto has said in interviews in the last month, quote, "We are part of the universe. We are part of the world. We are part of the plans they have been creating for the future installments of the DCU," which is a very smart quote to get out there. And star Xolo Maridueña has been saying that he has spoken with Gunn and Safran, but is also caveating that with, quote, "If we do 20 of these movies and 40 cameos, or if it's just this one, what's the most exciting for me is the opportunity for people to see it and have little kids everywhere saying, oh my gosh, this guy looks like me. I can be a hero too."
Yeah,
that's
great. I think that's great.
If it's on the prompter, I'm going to read it. Cyborg. No, that's a great quote, and I think that is That is a wise beyond his years movie star quote from an actor.
Yes.
And it makes me believe in him even more.
I think 99% what he's going to be in.
Yeah.
You know?
I think for James Gunn's future Justice League, we can safely say there's a Blue Beetle, there's an Aquaman, and there's a Wonder Woman with a blank face right now, and we don't know who it'll be.
Well, who's your guys' fan cast for Wonder Woman?
For Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
I don't even know it.
I hate mine because it's a nepotism baby, although I do kind of think that's an unfair thing if they have talent. But Andy McDowell's daughter, Margaret Qualley, I think she looks like Linda Carter to me a little bit. She's got the blue eyes Linda Carter had and the jet black hair. I think she'd be a great new Wonder Woman.
That's it for us today. Make sure to subscribe to the Breakroom channel right here on YouTube and give us a follow on Twitch where we do these videos live. And you can check out how we make the sausage, folks.
Sorry.
Thank you to Tommy and Mom for being here today. We'll catch you next time. Laters, gators.
Sorry, Mom.
Bye. Stop apologizing to your mother.